There are moments in life that seem so perfectly timed, so personally meaningful, they almost take your breath away. A friend's name flits into your mind, and your phone buzzes with their message. You have a hunch, choose a different route home, and end up missing a traffic jam. Maybe you felt an inexplicable pull toward a decision that in hindsight changed everything for the better. For generations, we've brushed such events aside as coincidence or good luck. But what if these are glimpses into something far deeper? What if science, intuition, and ancient wisdom are all converging to reveal one breathtaking truth? Everything is profoundly, inextricably connected. And you yourself, whether you realize it or not, are a powerful transmitter and receiver in this grand hidden web. As we stand on the cutting edge of both physics and personal development, a new story for our lives is emerging, one that could empower you to unlock energy, clarity, and potential you never dreamed possible. This isn't just philosophy or feel-good advice. This is about how the laws of reality, the power of the subconscious mind, and the quantum entanglement of all things can transform the way you experience your own existence, starting right now. The quantum thread, where science and spirit meet. Imagine the universe as a vast tapestry, every thread sparkling, alive and sensitive to every movement. Long before modern technology, sages and shamans spoke of a web of life that binds all things together. The ancient Sanskrit concept of Indra's net is one such vision, a cosmic grid, each knot a jewel reflecting all others, extending to infinity. For indigenous peoples, the land was not inert, but animated by spirit, stories, and intent. In recent decades, science has begun to glimpse the astonishing mechanisms that could make these metaphors real. Quantum physics, often cited and rarely understood, has turned our view of reality inside out. At its center sits one of the strangest, most beautiful findings ever observed: quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is a phenomenon where two particles, created together or forced into a shared state, become so intimately linked that the behavior of one instantly mirrors the behavior of the other, no matter how far apart they have traveled. Move one, and the other knows it in zero time, even if they're separated by the farthest reaches of the universe. Einstein once scoffed at this, famously calling it spooky action at a distance. It challenged his belief in local realism, the idea that objects can only be influenced by their immediate surroundings, traveling no faster than the speed of light. Yet experiment after experiment, from Bell's inequalities to elaborate tests with entangled photons, fired between distant labs, has validated the spookiness. In 2017, Chinese researchers sent entangled particles from a satellite to ground stations over 700 miles apart. When they tweaked one photon's polarization, its twin in another city responded instantly. Stringently controlled experiments in Europe have confirmed these results, closing loopholes and deepening the mystery. But why stop at particles? Pioneering scholars, including Nobel laureates and contemporary physicists, are asking bolder questions. If everything in the universe at its core is a dance of interacting quantum fields, if atoms, molecules, living bodies, and conscious minds are all built on these same principles, could quantum entanglement scale upwards? Is it possible that human consciousness, intention, or emotion might also be entangled, or at least in tune with, a broader network of reality? Your mind is a quantum tuner. Take a moment and picture your mind not as an isolated computer, but as a sensitive radio, capable of dialing into invisible currents. Every thought, every emotion, every belief you carry acts like a tuning knob on this cosmic radio, filtering the endless possibilities of experience down to a channel, a stream of moments, a version of reality that feels uniquely and sometimes stubbornly your own. The latest neuroscience is weaving a compelling tale that dovetails with this vision. Multiple research teams have shown that both your heart and brain generate electromagnetic fields, real measurable flows of energy powerful enough to be picked up several feet away. The Institute of Heart Math, based in California, has recorded that a person's heartbeat not only shifts dramatically with different feelings, but can even synchronize with those close by, especially when love or gratitude is present. Your vibe may be more literal than you ever believed. The brain, too, is responsive to pattern and resonance. When you focus on stress or fear, your neural pathways strengthen for vigilance and withdrawal. The world starts to look more threatening. Shift your attention to gratitude or joy, and entirely new circuits light up. Research teams, from Harvard to the University of Wisconsin, have demonstrated that people who practice daily positive focus literally rewire their brains. They process negative stimuli less and become more attuned to opportunity. But the most fascinating breakthroughs involve not just individual brains, but shared fields. In controlled settings, groups of people meditating on peace or calmness can influence the neural synchrony of others in the same room, even if they're not speaking. Some experiments suggest spikes in collective coherence during global events, as if our minds resonate and entangle at critical moments. This may explain the uncanny sense you get when walking into a room. Instantly, you pick up on the emotional weather. Maybe that's more than intuition. Maybe it's your mind adjusting its tuner, sensing the frequencies others are transmitting. Beyond the surface, the subconscious blueprint. Most of us learn from a young age that the key to getting what you want is to work harder, to think positive, and to keep your eyes on the prize. But so often, those resolutions seem to melt away under pressure. Why? Because real, lasting change happens not at the surface, at the level of conscious thought or willpower, but in the deep waters of the subconscious. The subconscious mind is not a poetic notion. Research shows that up to 95% of our thoughts, feelings, choices, and behaviors are shaped by patterns running below our awareness. As children, we absorb beliefs and lessons about money, love, safety, and self-worth, often not through direct teaching, but through repeated stories, emotional experiences, and the behavior of those around us. Trauma, criticism, even careless remarks can become powerful programs, replayed for decades. This subconscious blueprint acts like the default frequency of our personal radio. It attracts experiences and opportunities that match those beliefs, even when we consciously wish for something more. That's why it's so common to find yourself stuck in repeating patterns. The same kind of job disappointment, the same turbulent relationships, the same internal doubts. Here's the revolution. Science is now proving what mystics suggested for millennia. The subconscious can be reprogrammed, sometimes gradually, sometimes in bursts of transformation, by deliberate practice, emotion, and attention. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a former neuroscientist and now world-renowned teacher, has devoted his career to this intersection of brain, body, and quantum field. His studies show that meditation, guided visualization, and the daily rehearsal of new realities, with deep feeling, not just rote repetition, send new instructions to the subconscious. As you live the new state in your mind and heart, your brain's wiring shifts. Neurotransmitters, hormones, and even genetic expression begin to change. What you expect and attract from the world bends to your inner transformation. Other researchers are taking notice. Imaging studies have revealed that when people immerse themselves in a visualization, seeing, hearing, even feeling the sights, sounds, and textures of a new reality as if it's present, their brains can't distinguish between fantasy and recall. The body responds with all the same healing, growth, or motivational chemicals. Over time, practice states of gratitude, success, healing, or love become programmed as defaults, making new opportunities and patterns not only possible, but probable. The quantum shift, how to change your frequency and reality. How does this work in practice? If all the world is a field of possibility, how do you reset your personal signal and start drawing a better life? The answer combines the best of ancient ritual and modern science. Daily commitment, creative imagination, and emotional alignment. Begin the day not by grabbing your phone or plunging into emails, but by pausing, even for 60 seconds, with your hand on your heart. With slow, steady breaths, bring to mind the energy you wish to embody. Maybe it's courage, focus, or compassion. Picture your day unfolding, not in detail, but in a feeling. What would it be like if everything worked in your favor? What if even challenges helped you grow? As you generate these emotions, your nervous system calibrates for them. Your subconscious expects them. You tune your frequency from the very start. But life is filled with triggers, unexpected stress, criticism, doubt, setbacks. These are the testing grounds for your new identity. When you notice yourself spiraling into old loops, don't judge. Instead, pause and become the observer. Take 3 deep breaths. Ask yourself if you're responding from your former self or from the next level self you wish to embody. Each conscious interruption, no matter how small, starts to break the old pattern and allows the brain to lay new tracks. At night, journaling can become a conscious act of recoding your blueprint. Write about your achievements, not only big wins, but the micro moments where you felt present, brave, or grateful. Journaling in the present tense is especially powerful. I am grateful for the clarity I feel. I am meeting inspiring new people. I am healing and attracting abundance. As you relay these memories in the present, your subconscious gradually shifts its filter, opening you to new experiences. Kindness, too, is a quantum shift. Neuroscience finds that acts of compassion release oxytocin, strengthen social bonds, and switch the brain out of fight or flight. But quantum theory goes further. Every act of kindness, every moment of generosity, sends ripples into the shared field, reinforcing a world where support and abundance are normal. When you help a stranger, thank a coworker, or truly listen to a friend, you aren't just doing good. You're subtly resetting your default setting to expect more support in return. Don't underestimate the power of groups. Studies of transcendental meditation, group intention, and synchronous prayer reveal stunning patterns. In cities where groups gathered daily to meditate on peace, crime rates reliably dipped. Researchers at Princeton's Global Consciousness Project monitored random number generators that changed their randomness during moments of collective focus, major world events, disasters, or mass meditation. The suggestion, when enough minds synchronize, reality itself becomes more ordered, more meaningful, less random. Your energy is amplified by those you align with. The practice, integrating quantum living transformation, however, is not linear. Old beliefs will resist. When you step onto a new path, shifting your internal frequency to hope, purpose, or love, it's common for life to push back. Unexpected setbacks arise, doubts grow loud. But these aren't signs you're failing. They are the feedback of a field recalibrating to your new state. Like tuning a guitar, sometimes the strings tighten or fall flat before the perfect note resonates. The antidote is to trust the process. Accept that doubt, fear, or inertia are normal phases of any change. Realignment is a practice, not a one-time switch. Set an intention each day to return to your chosen frequency, using breath, movement, journaling, or meditative stillness. Letting go of control is equally vital. After setting your intention or dream, practice releasing the need to choreograph every detail. The quantum field, like life itself, relishes surprise and serendipity. Solutions, relationships, and luck often appear in forms you never plan. Stay open to nudges, follow inspiration, and act decisively when intuition moves you. Even if the path doesn't fit your old logic, weekly reflection can anchor your progress. Keep a synchronicity log, noting each small win, coincidence, or unexpected gift. Share your findings with a trusted friend or group. Each story reinforces the lesson. Your choices, beliefs, and emotional states are not isolated. They interact with a greater reality, drawing in the people, opportunities, and lessons you're ready for. If you stumble, forgive yourself. Old beliefs have momentum. Perfection isn't required, progress is. Each return to presence, each deliberate shift in attention compounds your power. The quantum invitation, becoming a conscious creator. You stand at the intersection of science and story, history and possibility. The message is clear. You are not a spectator of the universe, but a participant, a node in its vast intelligence. When you master your personal entanglement, the subtle interplay of subconscious, intention, and energy, you begin to unlock resourcefulness, connection, and transformation beyond anything you've imagined. You may already sense your role is changing. As fear-drenched stories captivate the news and old systems shake, more of us are seeking meaning beyond material struggle. We crave alignment, a feeling that we matter, that our days amount to more than mere survival. Quantum living is not about escaping reality. It's about seeing the magic within it and realizing that the greatest adventure is learning to shape your perceptions, your habits, in your world. Ask yourself, what new frequency do you want to embody? What stories are you ready to outgrow? If you crave healthier relationships, imagine yourself feeling cherished, respected, and loving. Right now, not someday. If you dream of abundance, start noticing ways life already supports you, however small. If you yearn for freedom or creative flow, dare to experiment. Try new things, break shaking routines, claim space for what matters most. If you're stuck, gather with others who share your hope. Form mastermind groups or meditation circles. Meet online or in person. Dedicate time to co-creating intentions. The more you align with others, the more your tiny actions echo through the field. Above all, trust that your desires aren't accidents. They are the signals of a greater intelligence working through you, drawing you toward your next greatest experience. What you hold in your mind and heart often becomes your world. Not instantly, not always as expected, but surely, steadily, and sometimes in ways so dramatic, it changes the narrative of your life forever. So as you close this article, don't let the spark fade. Begin now. Take a breath. Offer thanks for something in your life, however modest. Decide what energy you want to bring to your next conversation, your next project, your next day. When worry creeps in, pause and ask, what else could be true? How do I choose to respond no matter what happens? Write down your intentions, revisit them daily, celebrate each sign of growth, however small. Share your journey. You'll find others echoing your story, forming a new constellation of conscious creators. Give kindness. Receive it with open arms. Remember that every thought, every feeling, every spark of hope is a message to the universe you're now ready for change. You are not merely a bystander in the quantum field. You are a force of nature within it. As you master the resonance of your own mind and heart, you unlock doors you never saw before, tap energy you forgot you had, and step into experiences beyond anything you dared to expect. Your world will shift, your mind will awaken, your energy will rise, and your reality will respond. You are not just part of the universe. You are part of its transformation. Own your frequency, trust your power, change your world one clear conscious moment at a time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on personal development, science, and creating a life filled with purpose and joy. What new possibilities will you explore after watching? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.